This YSL debacle. That fucking this shit is a real shit show.
RICO case started more than 6 months ago. It is the longest jury selection process in Georgia history. The judge has been reviewing hardship over 2,000 jurors. What the hell? 2,000 jurors. It's going to be a long trial. But guess what? It's not going to be. It's not going to be a trial with 28 defendants like it started out. They're down to about 8 people. And what does that mean? That means people have taken a deal. That means that there's probably a lot more snitches. But before we get to the meat of what we're going to talk about, this is brought to you by eSign.com. eSign.com, very effective way to remotely do business. Let's say your grandma's in your basement, right? And she's actually part of the YSL crew, but she's so well known, she can't go out in a long time. The investigation has been going on for a long, long time. And the last thing the judge needs before a trial is what? Surprises. Last minute surprises, last minute witnesses, unfair opportunity to investigate something from the defense perspective is something that the judge is not going to tolerate. Let's see what the judge had to say.
Really, I am really annoyed about this, Ms. Hilton. I just am.
I'm really annoyed. When the judge says he's really annoyed, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. Believe me, I've been on the receiving end of that before.
This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th, because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it.
I think what the judge is saying, you better not be hiding the ball anymore, because if you don't have a good reason for this these late disclosures, whatever's late, I'm not going to allow it. And that's the remedy for it, right? So if you can't have that evidence in court, guess what? Whatever theory you were trying to prove through that witness is now gone.
Okay. But right now, I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
This dude is pissed.
Yeah. You know what? That reminds me of Attack on Titan episode where what's his name, Jaeger took away all the memories and then he brought all the memories.
That lady using that bleach.
Yeah, he's screwed.
Cringy as fuck.
Yeah.
In the middle of trial, when you have to explain to a group of people something to get to the end of your joke or your punchline, you're talking way too long.
Well, Can you imagine your life being on the line and somebody starts talking about Attack on Titan? I'd be so fucking mad. What?
I mean, know your audience though. Like, nobody know what you're talking about.
You just sound like a crazy
fire.
It'd be like me being in a group of a white middle class people and be like, when King Von went to O Block for the first time,
ain't nobody give a fuck.
And then I have to say, if you don't know who King Von is, once upon a time in Chicago,
right?
Like that's just too much, bro. Like,
maybe he's pushing for a mistrial.
I don't know. I feel like this judge, that's like how stern he is, but I feel like he's giving that prosecutor a little bit too much carte blanche, because there's been so much bullshit going on. Like, when are you gonna call a mistrial? It's almost like watching, he's the referee in a cage match and the guy's knocked out and you just watch another guy steady elbow him in the head and you looking at him like, when are you gonna call this? Like, this is bullshit.
That judge is tripping. That's all cap. Just on cap.
This is about as rough as watching the Johnny Depp court case.
Listen, Young Thug lawyer is going full cap. He's like, his name Thug stands for Together, Heaven, Us, Hugs. Like, I'm like, you never go full cap, bro. He's talking about pushing PDs, pushing P.
Positivity, pushing positivity.
I'm like, this nigga going full cap. Like, bro, you are insulting the juror's intelligence at this point.
It's not even veiled. It's direct.
It's very direct.
You directly insulted the jurors. That's like, you passed the test from training day. like, you just gonna call me stupid to my face?
To my face, bro. Like, he going full.
Proof through that witness is now gone.
But right now, I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like
Include a lot more on that date because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice that we just kind of keep, well, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
What's frustrating that from a defense perspective is you're going down a path. You know, you've investigated this case. You're putting your heart and soul into every little thing. All of a sudden, they come in last minute with something, and you get a report that's like 6 months old or 8 months old. It's like, wait the fuck minute. You were supposed to give this to me a long time ago. Judge isn't going to have it.
Well, we'll be asked to be heard on the 16th, Your Honor, and we'll have all the explanations for the court.
I'm telling you, it better be a good explanation, and if it's not, I'm going to exclude it. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
And that's the remedy. The remedy is that you can't have it. So and so we'll see what happens on the 16th with that. But here's another issue. So the judge has also just ruled that they can use the lyrics of his songs in the trial. This has been a huge controversial issue over the country in a lot of different cases. And I had that issue in one of my cases last year, and I kept it out. Let's see what the judge has to say about it, then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Let me go ahead and like I said, when we recessed last night, courts had an opportunity to ponder the issues that were presented yesterday in terms of the admission of lyrics or the exclusion thereof. So
let's just talk about that just generally for a second. Why would lyrics of a song be admitted into evidence? If it's off, well, first of all, it's a statement of a party opponent, so it's not hearsay, but it has to be relevant to something that's in the trial, material to a fact that's in the trial, and it can't be more prejudicial than probative. So those are your kind of guideposts.
to that extent, the court has considered the state's motion limiting
This the one with the fucking judge. I want to hear the one where the lawyer going full cap.
Man, I was actually interested in that.
Sorry about that, but that's
What a dick.
Well, what do you guys think about using lyrics against a rapper? Like, do you guys think that's acceptable or not acceptable?
I think it's on a case by case basis because they were trying to make it like, I know a lot of people, a lot of our people are saying like, well, that's like using Arnold Schwarzenegger movies against him, saying that he's violent. But here's the thing though, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't potentially actually kill somebody when he made the Terminator. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are rapping about shit that actually happened. Like Young Thug said in one line, I shot at his mommy and now he don't talk about me, in his lyric. Well, his enemy, YFN Lucci mother, actually got shot. So at that point, it's evidence. It's not artwork. When you're actually rapping about something that potentially actually happened.
Isn't it also possible that he heard that his mother got shot at and then made the song after that?
That's true, but isn't it true that that's stupid? No.
Well, I'm just saying, just because, if somebody, I don't see how art can be used as a justification for anything happening. The same way you could say, like the example you gave was a good one. You could say, well, in this lyric, you said you shot at, you made it seem like you shot at his mother. And then if I say, well, I heard that she got shot at and I just wrote the lyric, like, how do you prove that I actually shot at her mother just because I said that in a rap? There's no actual proof there.
Right. But the thing is, and that's true, but he's making it more real than not when you rent a van in your name and let your alleged gang members do a drive-by and actually murder somebody in that van. And then you send a message and say, hey man, you know, I told y'all to bring it back, the van back tomorrow, and blah, 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 blah. And then he sent another message like, y'all niggas going soft. This dude here's supposed to been dead and shit. But you know, like
right then, those messages, the rental for the van, all of that shit should be admissible in court.
Right.
But the song should not, because that's just art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's what they're arguing. Because if you use those lyrics, I mean, that's the whole point of the I guess that case. It's just using
right. I'm saying the lyrics shouldn't be involved, because the reason I'll just explain why I have a problem with the lyrics being involved. The reason I have a problem with the lyrics being involved is because in this case, it may be an open and shut case that he did do this and he rapped about it.
Oh, I see where you're going.
But the problem is, tomorrow, it might just be some guy who rapped about something that happened that sounds sort of kind of like something that really happened in real life.
No,
and now you're putting him in jail because you made it legal for you to use lyrics against people.
It's a lot of that going on. It's a lot. So what you're saying, it's a lot of that going on, and especially in drill rap. And it's actually has the effect of making people who actually did the crime come out like, you lying, motherfucker. You know, I shot that motherfucker.
It's like the erosion of our freedoms and stuff that we've just allowed.
Yeah.
It seems good when everything lines up and it makes perfect sense. It seems like a good idea to allow it. But once you allow it, there's no closing that door.
It doesn't stop.
So every rapper now who's ever rapped about any murder or rapped about doing drugs, like, who's to say they don't go pick up Snoop now? Lyrics are admissible now. When weed was illegal, you said you smoked weed. Therefore, with no proof, no evidence that you were doing it at that time, I can now arrest you for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's scary shit. It's a slippery slope. And I don't rap, obviously. But I'm just saying that's a scary door to open.
Yeah. That's true. All right. So wait a minute. Hold that thought.